Welcome, Gemini and Gemini cross-watchers, to your monthly love reading for November 2023. Whoops. I'll just kind of do a quick overview. We have the relationship situation here. I just do the bigger deck ahead of time. It's really loud on the desk. So we have the Four of Wands reversed with the Hermit at the bottom. And then we're going to look at what each of you is thinking and feeling about each other, the relationship, and your intentions towards each other this month. Did I just flip one? Yeah. So in your headspace, it looks a little, I feel like you are coming to the end of feeling like there's so much, not noise, but there's just so much going on in your mind. I know sometimes you guys live up there. I'm not saying that to be crappy towards you, okay? But you guys do think a lot, and that's why you're really quick on the uptake. But it also looks like if you have been feeling trapped by indecision, I feel like there's going to be a couple of things. It's almost like you may be trying to figure out how to put too many pieces together. And I feel like you end up taking out a couple of pieces and it's like, boom. And that's when you have the clarity. Not sure what you're going to do with it. It definitely feels like you're getting whatever clarity, or like, I should say you find it. Whatever it is that you need to sort out, that's me being a bad shuffler. You do sort it out. And it's almost like if you were trapped by indecision and felt that you couldn't act, it actually ends up that the reason you couldn't act is because what you want to happen requires no action on your part. It's almost like in removing those two things that you may have wanted for a time, but it's like in a perfect world, you would have included them as well. But I feel like in order for you to win here, right? Essentially, something had to be sacrificed. And I feel like if you win, sacrificing those is more than worth it. So your person's okay. And in their heart space, same thing, right? Aw. Okay. I'm glad I let that last Magician card come out because I was about to say something different. Gemini, I feel like your person has to just start. You know what I mean? It's like this may be because they have the card of, it's a card of indecision, but it's more like where you see too many pathways to get to where you want to go. They're not willing to acknowledge the pathways that they have, right? It's like they want to stay where they are. It's really interesting because Gemini, I feel like for you are doing absolutely everything that you can to break out of something. And this person is like, no, I'm gonna just stay right here. It's a really interesting dynamic between, or comparing the two. Not that I'm trying to compare people, right? But it's just really interesting. Anyway, I'll stop rambling. So, it's almost like your person here doesn't want to admit to themselves that they want something that they want. If that makes sense. Sorry if I seem a little bit hyper. I was just moving some furniture around, and knocked the desk. Sorry guys. I don't know why all of a sudden I'm so hyper, but it is what it is. So I feel like this person wants, happy home, happy family, happy life, but they don't want to want it. It's almost like they want to be that like cool, mysterious, loner sort of energy. And I feel for a time they genuinely were, right? It's almost like they may have put themselves into that place, out of survival, really, it feels, but it feels more that it's like, how do I say this? That they, sorry, there's just, my ear is burning quite a bit. So someone's talking some nonsense. Anyway, I feel like this person for a time went through so much that they had to put themselves in a cold, dark place in order to like let themselves come down. You know what I'm saying? It's like there was such a frenzy of activity and them keeping their head above water. And it's, if ever you have seen those memes, where it's like someone is the life of the party and then they go in the bathroom and close the door and they're like, oh, and they just kind of close their eyes for a second and take a few deep breaths and then open the door and they're like, hey, and they kind of go back to that really animated, lively sort of energy. I feel like this person just hasn't opened that door back up, right? It's like they've gone into a cold, dark place, not because they have any darkness in them. They just needed the dark as a break from everything that's been going on, right? It's like they needed to disconnect. And I feel like them doing that may have offered them almost this like a safety blanket, right? It's like, here was this frenzy of activity. They found a way to get away from it, and that felt safe, right? It's like that feeling of like being in a cocoon when you're, I do this, so this is how I'm understanding it. You may not, so just bear with me. If ever you've like wrapped yourself in a blanket, kind of burritoed yourself, it's that type of a deal, but it was kind of like isolating this person, isolating themselves from all of that noise, all of that stuff. I feel like that's where they felt safe. And it's almost like it doesn't feel like they're under the impression that they're going to lose that feeling of safety, but because it was so, this might sound strange, but it's like, because it was so welcoming to them, finally being able to like pump the brakes and stop for a second, I feel like they're kind of torn right now. It feels like they don't really want to leave that, but it's almost like they know that if they stay there, they'll stay there too long. You know how if you go over to someone else's house and you're there and you're having a great time, and then it's like you slowly start to see that like, oh, I might be wearing out my welcome here. I feel like that's how this person feels being in that space. And so it's almost like, I feel like if I could speak to this person, I would say, and I hope this message reaches whoever it's intended for, but it's like, just because you want to pursue having like deep, loving relationships with other people doesn't mean you can't keep this, like a dark room. Right? There's nothing wrong with hanging on to that and needing to retreat to that every once in a while if life becomes what it was, or if you start to feel that it's getting there and you need to kind of like touch base with yourself again. So then we have the Magician for your person's intentions. So whatever has been complicating things for this person, oh, this actually makes me, I'm getting kind of excited for you, Gemini. I mean, assuming you want this person, but anyway, I feel like this person actually ends up getting themselves out of this place of not wanting to make a decision. And it's like, not only do they get out of there, but they make the decision, right? Because we go from the 2 to the 1. And the Magician is such a powerful card. That's the card of like manifesting, right? Excuse me. That's the moment where the Fool has come, right? It's like that kind of like wild, pure opportunity has come, and this person has decided like, okay, this is what I want to do. Right? Because the 1 is the potential. The 1 is that it's there. And I feel like to a certain extent, this person has at least decided to come out of that dark room. I feel for some of you, they may walk right out of that room and run smack into you in like the best of ways, right? And it's really, really interesting because you're in this energy of like, your mind's going a mile a minute. It's almost like if you were, excuse me, if you were a racetrack, it's like your mind would have like 10 cars whizzing around all the time. And what's interesting is I feel like this person ends up seeing in you the same that they saw in themselves before they walked into the dark room. And I feel like they seem to find the way that you deal with things very intriguing. It feels like it's very different from how they would do it. There are some similarities, but they find it kind of it's almost like they find it inspiring, right? It's like they made this roadmap to get out of there, and I feel like they're it's like they want to learn more about you. I just heard a noise. 1 second. Okay. It's like they want to learn more about you. They want to find out kind of how you work, how you operate, because they found a pathway to get out of there. And I feel like to them, your pathway looks more expeditious because it looks to them that you've kind of skipped over this dark room. They also seem to feel like you're someone that's always happy. Not in the like toxic positivity, blah, blah, blah sort of way, okay? It feels more like this person sees you as someone that has that like lighthearted, jovial energy that you guys do have. And that's not to say that you're, happy all the time, but generally speaking, Geminis do have that type of energy about them. And I feel like this person is very, it's like they're drawn to that. I'm not so sure from what I'm seeing that they actually make a move towards you right now. So on your end here, we talked about what's up in your headspace, actually. In your heart space, we have the Leo card, or strength. So the person on the strength card, or in the strength card, that's actually the Empress that's taming the beast, right? And it almost feels like it's like that moment when it's like you've been trying to mount, I don't know why this is what's the way I'm going to describe it, but it is. I've never even ridden a horse, but it's like you've been trying to get on this horse over and over and over again. And there's this like exhilarating feeling that comes with you've tried 10 times and you try on the 11th time and you get up and the horse takes off. Right. And it's like you're not even able to enjoy that, oh, just in the nick of time moment, because it's so exhilarating that you did it. I'm going to be honest. I feel like they're maybe not for all of you, but for some of you. Okay. I feel like somebody here thinks that there's a twin flame, and I don't, let me be very clear. Okay. Nobody can tell you who, anyway, from my perspective, the way I understand it, someone else can't tell you if your twin flame is or is not your twin flame, or if a specific person is, right? I'm given to understand that when you know, you know. And I feel like here, it's like sorry, I just feel like I have to say this. Some readers may be able to give you certain insights that help you understand who is and who's not, and the dynamics and that sort of stuff. But yeah, anyway, I just wanted to say that. I don't know why. Anyway, somebody here may feel that, see, here's the thing. I feel like this other person might think you're their twin flame. I'm just not so sure you see them that way. Right? It's like whatever it is that they're whatever it is that they're offering, I'm not sure you're looking to buy it. It does feel like you would kind of enjoy this, like a meeting of the minds with this person. But it feels more like your energy in terms of love and your heart space is more independent, whereas this person is, not that they're dependent, right? But they're looking for someone to share it with. And I feel like you can see that this person is going to want more than you want to give. And I kind of have to commend you here, because I feel like you actually end up giving, how do I say this? you actually give it some genuine thought, right? It's like a lot of people, and I say this, I don't know what a lot of people think, but sometimes people, when they have an opportunity, but they're in that really exhilarated energy, then they just kind of like poo poo away any opportunity and they don't just ignore it. I don't feel like you do that. So I'm just going to have a sip of my coffee. Spill it on my desk on the way back. Smooth. No, it's fine. My shirt's black. So no one will know. I'll wash it. Anyway, so I feel like you actually give it some genuine thought. You look at it like, is this something that I actually want? I feel like you're somebody, at least here, you seem to bounce back pretty quickly. It doesn't mean that you don't experience the same level of suffering. It just feels like you're able to get on to the next thing faster than other people. So you're a mutable sign, right? And mutable signs are at the end of seasons. So it usually is about kind of helping someone to, like where your nature and the people that are drawn to you is people that need help to kind of close out a certain way of thinking and put it to rest. And then they move on. Not that, like, there's this constant revolving door, but you know what I'm saying? That might be something that you notice. And I feel like this person, you are interested in them, but there's something, it's like they're too eager. And I feel like they turn you off. And then it's almost like there's a little bit of like demanding or expectation come from them to you, right? And it's almost this energy of them saying, but you're my twin flame, you should be here. You should, like, where do you, like this, you're supposed to be here. And um and I feel like it just isn't, I feel like you don't go for it. Now, listen, that's not to say that you will or you won't. I feel like the energy that I'm seeing here in the next few weeks, I'm not so sure that this person is someone that you are interested in. I'm sorry to say it that way. I don't know. I don't want to, anyway. I actually feel like you end up looking at this person like they've got a few, it feels like they have some extenuating circumstances in their life they need to sort out. And it's almost like, and once that happens, it's almost like it would take too long for all of those things to get sorted. And I feel like that may be like a reason that you tell yourself that you are rejecting this connection. But I actually feel like it's because you pity them. And I feel like it's like you are not able to, like, what there's, empathy or sympathy is one thing, but I feel like pity is, it's different for you. It's like, I mean, obviously the cards have said that it's a turnoff already, but anyway, I feel like I'm going in circles. I do feel like this person's going to be insistent. I don't think it's going to bother you at all. And I do feel like they're not going to be very happy about it. That's for sure. So we're going to get some. Can I ask the question first, maybe? Thanks. Just looking at it to put it back up right. So, best possible outcome. Queen of Wands. So, I feel like there's a certain way that you'll be able to handle rejecting this person that will not that you need to dance around somebody else's ego, okay? It's not like that. It's more about being not cautionary, but it's more about approaching a situation with understanding, because I feel like the way that you handle this can either empower this person, or it might really F them up. And let me be clear, Gemini, it's not that like, oh, you can do this good or you can do this bad. It's more about their response to however you act, right? So it's almost the energy of like, if they have a really negative response to something that you've done, I feel like you're going to know that it's their, that response is not appropriate for what's happened. So it's like, you know that it's about something else, right? It's about something bigger, maybe something in the past, whatever it is. It's not about you. But I do feel that if you hold on. I feel like there's a certain way that you may be able to handle this. Excuse me. It's almost like if you, not that you have to, okay, just giving you some options here. If you do it in a way that this person feels like they exit the situation with their dignity intact, I actually feel like this person will kind of like protect your name. They won't talk, you know what I mean? Like they'll, whatever the connection was between the two of you, I feel like they will remain loyal to that, in that they're not going to spread your business. They're not going to go running around talking about you if they feel that they're treated with respect. And I want to stress that I didn't say if you treat them with respect, because I feel like it's important to note that if this person is going through a lot and they do have a lot on their plate, your version of treating someone with respect and their version may be very different. It's if you get careless, right? It's certainly, you know, putting the situation to bed is like small potatoes for you. Is that the word, the saying? Anyway, it honestly is no big deal for you. However, I feel like if you get annoyed with this person's presence, or you're busy doing other things, or they're a little too persistent, I feel like that is when the energy between the two of you may really shift. I also feel there is a third party that enters the situation. This might sound strange, okay? I feel like whoever or whatever this third party is, you don't actually want it. And it's almost like if you let this person think that they're taking from you, sorry, if you allow this person to believe that they are winning it in a battle with you, rather than you don't really care and they can have it anyway, it feels like that's the change. And let me be clear, okay? It's not like, oh, you should be really diabolical and you should blah, blah, blah. It's more about, this is someone that has been through a lot and may have some either like a lot or almost like disorganized defense mechanisms, right? So it's like when they feel defensive, they kind of kick into all these different things, and it feels disorganized, right? So I feel like the message here is, if you allow this person to believe what they need to believe, I feel like this might sound strange. It feels like it's a big change for them. It feels like to them that it's one of the first times that they've been treated with respect by somebody that they really respect, that they really value. It's almost like it's the first time that they've been treated with respect as an adult. So, just was going to say, any final advice? We have the Seven of Pentacles. Excuse me. With the Two of Cups. Um, I feel like there's going to be somebody in the future um, that they kind of sneak up on you in terms of you developing a really strong affection for them. It's not really related to this situation, these people, okay? It feels like there's someone that it's like they're almost unassuming. They seem to have an energy of um, almost like, not with the negative connotation on this word, okay, but like almost like an underling, if you will. And I feel like there's something about their persistence, their tenacity. There's something about it that it's like you may not have noticed them at first, but they start to grow on you. And it's almost this energy of like, oh, I'm really glad that this worked out the way that it did because I kind of wanted something else anyway. So I think I'll leave it there, Gemini. If this reading resonated, I hope it was helpful. I hope it made sense. It seemed to be all over the place. Um, if it was, I apologize. If it wasn't, great. Anyway, I love you guys. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. And we will see you on the next one. Much love. Bye.